how the issues are being resolved in the coming days. Well, just before you go, Daniel, geopolitical topics could be again on the mind of investors this week. What are the big topics to look out for?
Well, certainly the Iran nuclear deal is going to be one of the big topics this week. We have to remember that U.S. President Donald Trump will have to make a decision within a week if this is now going to be extended or not. Just yesterday, we had very strong words again from the Iranian government saying that this would be a mistake if the United States would not anymore be part of this deal. So, yes, that's the reason why every investor here will be looking very closely to new comments, new tweets possibly coming from the U.S. president. Also here at the blue chip index DAX, we have to remember that the last 6 weeks have been 6 weeks with the blue chip index DAX here in the winning zone. We're going to see if this is going to continue today. You can see it very well in the background. We are in the plus this afternoon. Also, the reporting season will continue this week. Big companies such as Deutsche Telekom, E.ON, Siemens, they will be all opening their books and providing their latest quarterly numbers.
Thanks a lot for those updates, Daniel, and do enjoy the rest of your day. And in the U.S., the stock futures moved higher today, building on jobs reports inspired gains as a sharp climb for oil prices and the dollar were in focus, and a trail of Federal Reserve speakers was upcoming. With the Dow Jones Industrial Average futures rose 0.2% to 24,291, while the S&P futures added 0.3% to 2,671.25. Nasdaq 100 futures gained 0.5% at 6,814. Asian markets closed mixed on Monday as investors digested trade concerns and U.S. jobs numbers, while U.S. crude tops the $70 mark for the first time since 2014 during late morning trade. But the benchmark Nikkei 225 finished lower by 0.03%, and that's off its session low of 22,350.91. The topics finished higher by 0.09% as gains in the steel and oil sub-indexes were mostly balanced by losses in the financial sector. Over in Hong Kong, the Hang Seng Index gave up gains seen earlier to slip 0.1%. Mainland stock indexes advanced, leading gains in the region for the day, with the Shanghai Composite rising 1.48% and the smaller Shenzhen Composite adding 1.85% to close at 1,822.18. Australia's S&P ASX 200 tacked on 0.36% to close at 6,084.5. Away from the markets now, the Securities and Exchange Commission in Nigeria is set for a record issuance bond from companies seeking to benefit from lower interest rates and an economy on the mend. The SEC says that companies could raise up to 200 billion naira or $554 million of bonds in 2018, and that's almost double the all-time high set 2 years ago. The funds are being earmarked for infrastructure projects, including rail, roads and power, as well as to create capital buffers. Authorities raised dollar bonds late last year and in the first quarter with the aim of reducing naira borrowing, bringing down costs and encouraging companies to access the local debt market. Well, that helped to drive yields on local bonds down by about 400 basis points since late August. The scandal-hit South African unit of KPMG has welcomed a review of its turnaround strategy by the Independent Regulatory Board for Auditors. Well, the company says that its failings led to a negative image of auditors. The global auditor has been under scrutiny since 2017 over work done for a company owned by the Gupta family and more recently for small lender DBS Mutual Bank. The IRBA has appointed a specialized team to review KPMG's turnaround strategy starting this week. The company says it's been cooperating with the IRBA since September and will continue to do so during the review. More than 10 clients have broken ties with KPMG since 2017 over the scandal that hit the auditing firm. And while Symbiose-Stillwater will be searching for a new external auditor to replace KPMG for 2019, The mining company says that it plans to launch the search for a new auditor after its annual meeting with shareholders on May the 30th. This follows a list of major clients who have dropped the auditing firm, including Barclays Africa. And in Zambia, maize production for the 2017-2018 crop season is expected to fall by about 34% to 2.9 million tons from 3.61 million tons produced in the previous season. The government attributes this to dry spells, which have negatively affected the production of some crops in the country. There are also reports of army worms and stalk borers attacking maize fields. Dry weather and an outbreak of army worms, which ravaged southern Africa earlier last year, have raised concerns over the crop output. And in Malawi, the President Peter Mutharika expects his country's economy to grow by as much as 6% in 2019 from a 4% expansion seen in 2018. Malawi, which is heavily reliant on financing from foreign donors, mostly Britain and other European Union countries and the United States, has restored economic stability after a period when the siphoning off the funds by the government officials led to donors freezing budgetary support in 2013. Landlocked Malawi is a net importer of fuel and other essential commodities, mainly agricultural inputs and drugs. President Mutharika also announced plans to build an international airport along Lake Malawi as part of ambitious plans to turn the country's tourism industry into a major source of revenue. The lake, which has also been subject of oil exploration in recent years, covers more than half of the country and is a major tourist attraction. We'll turn our attention to Nigeria's leather markets when the program returns in a moment. Do stay with us.